They don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you.
Tiga. Hello everyone. Today we are honored to present our report on the International Collaboration Community Service Program titled Kita Bantu Usaha Desa 2025. This initiative is a joint effort between Pakuan University, Putra Malaysia University, and local MSMEs, specifically Dwi Dharma Indotoys located in Caringin, Bogor. The primary goal of this program is to empower local businesses in rural areas by providing them with sustainable strategies and international insight. Through this collaboration, we aim to not only enhance their productivity, but also support their integration into broader markets. This report highlights the collective efforts of students, lecturers, and the community, guided by our mentors, Dr. Siti Maimuna and Dr. Naja Ab Mubin, who have been instrumental in ensuring the program's success. Let us dive deeper into the outcomes and the impact of this initiative. Next slide. Next, let us introduce our team. We are a collaborative group of students from Universitas Pakuan and University Putra Malaysia, consisting of Fatima Azara, Zahra Davina Sausan, Maifa Salsabila Nurrahman, Azril Naufal Fauzan, Antoni Reynara, Husnul Ramadhani, Paskah Mariati Purba, Desti Trisnasari, Dena Ayuwinda, and Nur Natasha binti Muhammad Idris from UPM. Together, we work to support this community service program, focusing on the development of a local SME, Dwi Dharma Indotoys, located in Caringin, Bogor. This slides highlights our moment of collaboration and interaction with the business owner as part of identifying challenges and opportunities. With strong teamwork, we aim to provide the best solution to help grow their business. And the next slide will be presented by my friend Fatima Azal.
Welcome to the table of content. Next slide. In this presentation, we will guide you through 7 main sections. Section 1 is background, an overview of the business and its current condition. Section 2, STP, segmentation, targeting, positioning, identifying the market and positioning strategy. Section 3, SWOT analysis, understanding strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Section 4, business model Canva, a detailed look at the operational framework of the business. Section 5, finance governance, insight into the financial management strategy. Section 6, digital marketing, discussing how to enhance the business online presence. Section 7, documentation, a recap of our activity and key moment during this project. This section will provide a comprehensive roadmap of our effort to support and develop the SME, Dwi Dharma Indotoys. Let's move on the first section, the background. Next slide. The name Dwi Dharma carries a personal and cultural essence. Dwi symbolizes the founder to doctor, while Dharma represents patience and devotion. Indo highlight its Indonesian roots, and Toys signifies the business dedication to creating toys. Dwi Dharma Indotoys is devoted to producing quality, safe, and educational toys for Indonesian children. Certified by SNI, the company priority family value, perseverance, creativity, and social responsibility. This principle guide to the development of their innovative products, ensuring they meet both educational and ethical standards. Now, let's take a closer look at their market segmentation and positioning strategy in the next section. Next. In this slide, we discuss the STV framework, which is standard for segmentation, targeting, and presentation. Segmentation involves defining the market based on needs, wants, or characteristics for Druidharma in the toys. The focus in active sales in Bekasi, Jakarta, and Solo, with production in Ciawi, Bogor. Their primary customers include resellers, toy stores, and middle-class distributors who with multifunctional product and quantitative price with graded quality. Targeting in division, the specific market segment on focus on the company target distributor, resellers, and souvenir or toy shop in key cities, as well as individuals who need a steady supply and handmade products. Finally, functioning highlight how the company places its product in consumer mind. Duidharma in the toys offer multifunctional dolls, product with net stitching, activity design, and sub-filing, maintaining and reputation for quality since 2006. Their strategies are consistent product quality and customer loyalty. Next, let's explore the challenges they face and their strategies to overcome them. Next. Now, let's discuss the SWOT analysis, a core strategy planning method for understanding company strategies, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Starting with a strength, the company has a legal entity which buildings to among consumer and their product are SNI card certified and carry safety and quality. Moving to weakness, unavoidable and fundamental conditions such as flooding, disrupt production and distribution, and additionally, despair or water and unstable infrastructure process technician challenge. For instance, the company unique slogan, as long as women can get pregnant, reflects their focus on sustainable toys production. This also highlights the growth potential in the local educational toys market and support for UMKM products. Lastly, the company faced price competition from the electronic book cartons and chef-informed products. Vital change market trends further demand constant innovation to stay competitive. Next, we'll examine how the factor inflation their business strategies.
Okay, moving on the business model canvas for Sentra Boneka Dwidharma. The business model canvas, or BMC, is a strategic framework introduced by Alexander Osterwalder in 2005. It is widely used to design, analysis, and improve business model on a single structure page. For Sentra Boneka Dwidharma, their key partners include trusted suppliers from Jakarta and Bogor, with product distribution handled independently through reliable delivery service. In key activities, they emphasize crafting unique doll design, exploring market trends, and providing fast delivery for their customers. Their value proposition highlight high quality, locally handmade products that stay updated with market needs, supporting creativity and empowerment for MSMEs. For customer for customer segment, they cater to all age groups, from toddlers to seniors, ensuring broad market reach. Their customer relationship focus on fair pricing and consistent quality. Lastly, their revenue stream come from the sales of quality dolls, reinvesting profit for future growth. This comprehensive BMC reflects the foundation of their sustainable and customer-focused business model. Next. Let's discuss finance governance. First, in theory, MSMEs are recognized as the pillars of the national economy. However, they face challenges in accessing capital due to weak financial governance and reporting. Good financial planning is crucial for business continuity, as emphasized by Asnawati and Risman in 2018. Unfortunately, most MSMEs still lack the skill to manage finance effectively, as highlighted by Warta Economy in 2016. This study was based on interview conducted with MSME actors at the Puppet Center in Ciherang Pondok Village, Caringin in March 2025. Next, the implementation, the MSME doll business is part of the local creative economy, producing unique products that align with market demand. Production is home-based and marketed through social media. Although financial records are maintained, they are simple and lack formal report, which limits access to financing. Adopting SAC MSMEs, a standard financial reporting system, can improve financial management, expand market opportunities, and foster collaboration. This shows the importance of structured financial governance for MSME growth and sustainable.
Now, finance governance. Now, let's talk about finance governance, focusing on the practical realities MSMEs face, especially in the handmade doll industry. First, limited handmade financial resources make it difficult for MSMEs to invest in modern equipment or scale their production. As demand grows, many businesses are unprepared. Second, financial recording is still mostly manually without structure. Reports like profit and loss statements or cash flow tracking. It's hard to evaluate business health. Third, income is often unstable due to the pre-order system. When orders slow down, fixed costs still run, leading to cash flow problems and difficulties in long-term planning. Fourth, while MSES use premium materials like velua and dacron to enhance product quality, this material rise costs. Accurate cost of production calculation becomes essential to stay profitable without lowering quality. Lastly, the market is very competitive. Local MSMEs must innovative through unique design, attractive packaging, digital marketing, and excellent service to stand out from imported products. Understanding customer trends and constantly adaptation is key to sustainability. So now these slides show the production cost report of the MESMEA Dwi Dharma Indo Toys based on Sheikh Irab in Indonesia. First, we see the cost of raw materials used to produce various types of dolls. For example, the gradation beer requires 3,738 rupiah per unit, and with 300 units, the doll is around 112 million rupiah. The baby step bolster doll product in the same quantity costs 6,842 rupiah per unit, totally over 2 million rupiah. Other products include the Love Pillow doll, the Ramen doll, and Ball doll, each with specific unit costs and quantities. In total, the raw materials cost 788 at 35 million rupiah. Lastly, the overhead costs, which include electricity and water use for 1 month, total 600,000 rupiah. Combining all components, the total production cost amounts to 11.99 million rupiah. This structure calculation helps MES track their cost of goods sold and set proper pricing strategies.
Okay. Okay, this is slide present the income statement and statement of change in equity for Dwi Dharma Indo Toys. Starting with the income statement, the company graded revenue of 13.51 million rupiah from doll sales. The cost of goods sold or HPP was 11.99 million rupiah, resulting in a gross profit of 1.552 million rupiah. However, the business incurred operational expense, specifically 300,000 rupiah delivery cost to customer. After decluding the expense, the company recorded a net profit of 1.22 million rupiah. Moving on the equity section, the internal capital from the owner was 6 million rupiah, and there was an additional investment of other 6 million. When we add the net profit of 1.22 million rupiah, the total ending equity becomes 13.22 million rupiah. There's report reflect that the business, the opening effectivity and generating a healthy return for its size. This also increases good potential for future growth and financial sustainability. And this slide shows the cash flow statement of Dwi Dharma Indo Toys category into three main activities: operating, investing, and financing. First, under operating activities, the business received 13.151 million in cash from customer. It then paid 7.89 million for raw materials, 3.5 million for labor, 600,000 rupiah for overhead, and 300,000 rupiah for delivery costs. After this expense, the net cash from operating activities is 1.22 million. The second, three were the investing activities recording during this period, so there is no cash inflow or outflow in the section. Lastly, for financing activities, the owner injected an initial capital of 6 million with no withdrawals. This gave a net cash inflow from financing of 6 million. When we add all theirs together, the total net cash at the end of the period is 7.22 million. This positive cash flow indicates that the business is not only profitable but also liquid and well management in terms of cash.
This slide presents the statement of financial position for Dwi Dharma Indo Toys. On the asset side, the business has a total of 13.22 million rupiah. This includes 7.22
million rupiah in current asset, all of which is in cash, and 6 million rupiah in missed asset represented by a sewing machine. Now let's look at liability and equity. There are no liability, meaning the business has no outstanding debit to supplier or other parties. This is a strong indicator of financial health. All funding comes from the owner equity, which total 13.22 million. This includes initial capital of 6 million rupiah, additional capital injection of 6 million rupiah, and retained earnings or net income of 1.22 million rupiah. In summary, this business is fully funded by equity with no liability, demonstrating strong ownership, control, and no financial risk from debit. This balance sheet reflects a healthy and stable MSME operation.
This slide highlights the role of digital marketing in MSMIS. Digital marketing refers to promoting product or service through digital technology. It helps business shape consumer preference and boost sales. Unlike traditional marketing, digital marketing leverages online platforms and digital tools to reach a broader audience. In this case, Paputu FS uses Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. To market his handmade dolls on Instagram, he puts a cutting product photo while on TikTok and YouTube. He shares short videos showing the doll making process. This strategy not only showcases the product but also builds trust and engagement with the audience. As a result, his business has grown beyond the local area, reaching new customers and expanding his market reach. It proves how powerful and cost-effective digital marketing can be, especially for small business like MSMIS.
This slide showcases our analysis of customer responses collected from TikTok comments. As we can see, the feedback is overwhelmingly positive, with users expressing excitement and curiosity about the products. Comments such as "so cute," how do I order?" and "can this be shipped anywhere?" indicate strong interest and buying intent. This highlights TikTok potential not only as a promotional platform, but also as a direct channel for customer engagement. We also observed questions about pricing, size availability, and minimum order quantities, which tell us that clear product information and order procedures are essential. Through this response analysis, we learned that improving communication in the comment section and integrating an easy order system will help convert viewers into buyers more effectively.
Next slide. Okay, so continuing from the previous slide, we observed that TikTok comments serve as valuable feedback and also for real-time market indicators. So many users are not only interested in the product, but also actively asking about how to purchase, shipping option, pricing, and also order limits. For instance, questions like where can I buy this, how much is it, and is there a minimum order appear frequently. These question indicates that viewers are moving from interest to intent, which is a strong signal for conversion. It also emphasized the needs for sellers to respond quickly and provide clear information in the video caption or pinned comment. From this, we suggest that integrating direct ordering system or link within the bio or using TikTok Shop can significantly boost sales potential. In summary, these TikTok engagement are not just casual, but they are actionable and they show the platform's strength in influencing buyer behavior. Next slide. Okay, so that's conclude our presentations. Thank you so much for your attention and interest throughout our discussion. We hope the insight we have shared today, especially about how social media engagement like TikTok comment can drive real business opportunities, have been useful and inspiring. If you have any question, feedback, or would like to collaborate further, we would be more than happy to connect. Once again, thank you for being here with us, and we hope to see you again in future presentation. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.